when it comes to Brazilian Jiu Jitsu compared to a lot of other martial arts, even though it is a more modern martial arts compared to a lot of the others, what gave it, I believe, the edge was it didn't follow tradition so much. They threw away the stuff that don't work and made sure you concentrate on the stuff that works. I think that's even involving more now in the modern game, you know, the application of leg locks, the applications of passing guards with floating hips and stuff like that. It's just that evolution of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. And I think the main thing, it ain't all about just keeping the tradition and staying stagnant. It's always about evolving and moving and developing the game. My name's Spencer Hewitt. I'm a second degree black belt and head coach at Checkmat Essex. I'm a sponsored short row athlete, and I fight at 61 kg. Jiu-Jitsu, what has it given me? It's gave me a living, it's gave me friends, it's gave me travel, it's gave me confidence, it's gave me a way of expressing myself, doing something that I love and enjoy. And every day when I go to work, I get to teach Jiu-Jitsu, which is my hobby, my sport. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm not even going to work, I'm going to do something I enjoy and love. A different viewpoint in life and the way I look at things. I look at things from a Jiu-Jitsu point of view, and you become a problem solver. It's also made me relax more and develop myself as a human being in ways I don't think I would have in any other sport. So where does it all start? It starts at age 7. I go to a judo club, start learning to grapple in judo. I do that for a few years, and then I move into boxing. I start boxing. I box up to the age of 18. A few bouts, enjoying the boxing, and then I have an injury. I had a compressed disc in my back, puts me out for a few years, and then I find the UFC. I'm watching the UFC, and I watch Royce Gracie win the UFC. So I'm like, man, I would like to do this. I want to find this martial arts. So I'm looking around, and in Dagenham, there was a Gracie Jiu Jitsu Academy, so I walk into there. I didn't actually know it was an academy. I'm thinking, you know, it's just a place that sells martial arts stuff. So I get some UFC DVDs, and I asked the guy behind the counter, do you know anywhere around here trains it? Like, we train it here. And I look behind the counter, and there's your Jiu-Jitsu mat. So that was in Dagenham under Mark Uda, and at the time he was under Royce Gracie. So that's where the Jiu-Jitsu journey started. And then, because of the back injury, I opened up my conversation with, listen, I would like to learn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but I know I'm about to spar or anything like that, because I have a compressed disc in my back. So that's like, yeah, that's cool, just come and train and learn techniques. So I start training. After about 2 months, I'm going to try and spar. So I spar, I get the bug, I enjoy it. By the end of the year, I go and fight in Seni and win gold as a white belt. And then from there onwards, I just kept competing. And as a white belt, I flew out Brazil, got my blue belt by Carlos Gracie in Rio, and went and fought in my first World Championships, did a medal, got points lost, and that's where the World Championships competition started for me. The biggest highlight for me, most people say, oh, like you're getting your black belt and stuff like that, but I actually say getting my black belt was a major achievement, right? It wasn't a highlight because the journey just carried on. That belt was just another step on my journey. So my biggest highlight was, I'd say, going to the no-gi welds. I medaled there, and I beat the previous year's gi champion, and then I lost the split decision. But that was in California, and the weeks after that I was training in Checkmat HQ with Leo Vieira, and it was just an amazing experience. And I plan to be no-gi world champion 2021 and 2022 if the world goes back to normal. In Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, from that I developed a career in MMA. Obviously the biggest highlight, which a lot of people have seen, is my 10-second KO on UCMA to become the interim champion. That's one of my biggest highlights, and it was just one of them moments where I was in that flow state and everything just went perfect. Jiu-Jitsu in the UK right now, I think it's amazing. I think both scenes are good. I think the gi scene's fantastic. We've got some good IBJF competitions, some British Opens and everything else. And on top of that, you've got some great super fights going on. Sub-Unreleased, you've got Polaris, you've got Figure 4, you've got Pathol, Grapple Battle, and you've really got some elite level UK competitors who are competing with the best in the world. So yeah, I think the stage and the level of the competitors and the shows that we're putting on in this country are amazing, and the sport is growing by the year. Growing Brazilian Jiu Jitsu in the UK, I think we have to work more as a community. I think we do pretty well at the moment. You've got some people trying to develop being the bodies of the UK, which is a great thing, and they're doing a very good job. The government, it'd be great if the government could help out and start putting more money into it. You know, there's a lot of gi companies that are sponsoring athletes now, which makes a big difference, even if it is giving out product and stuff like that. We're not in a stage where the athletes get sponsored to pay for training, but maybe that will come one day. You've got professional shows now, fighters can make a bit of money now as well, so that's amazing. I think that's the main way to move forward. The best thing about coaching is when you see someone that you may not realise has potential to get in. It's very easy to start coaching guys that you think are automatically going to be good. But I believe I'm only as good as my weakest students. So sometimes you get a guy who may not be athletic, may not be strong, but with the right technique and the right coaching, you see him develop into a very, very good jiu-jitsu competitor. And there's nothing more satisfying when you've developed someone who was not athletic or strong into a great competitor. When you change your mindset from coaching to training, I specifically have certain days where they are my training days. I call harder rounds, that's what we call it. I will come in, I'm not here to coach anyone or help anyone. It is purely for my training. And my focus is really on specific goals I've set out for myself for the day. I always have specific goals when I'm sparring. I don't spar to win or lose. I'm looking to either pull off certain sweeps, submissions, or develop a certain area, and then I can analyse them afterwards. When I'm in coaching, I'm now looking at my students, we're now sparring and rolling, looking how I can develop them and help them and see what they need to work on. So obviously when you're coaching, it's not about you, it's about your students in your club and getting a result as a team and developing each individual student. New students starting Brazilian Jiu Jitsu or just starting, I strongly recommend you do a lot of research on your clubs, get advice. There's nothing wrong with going to 1 or 2 clubs at the beginnings, checking out the vibe, how it is. It's very important that you have the right instructors and the right team around you, and that you're also a club that gives you a full range of learning, not just a specialist club where they only do gi or only do no gi, or they don't train leg locks. These are all part of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, they're not separate entities. So it's very good to be a club where you can pick and choose what sort of game you want to develop. And you're a paying customer and you're part of that team, so you just have the freedom, to express yourself. And if you do want to go and do a seminar or train somewhere else, you have that. You are a paying customer, and you're the future of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu in this country if you start from white belt and keep growing. Things that annoy me on that, people that look for easy roles in the class, and that's why often I will sometimes pick people's roles. It's none worse when you've got a guy that's looking around the room for easy roles, especially when it's a big, strong, higher belt and he's just trying to pick on the white belts and lower level guys, not looking to challenge or push yourself. I know there's a time and place that you may want to roll with lower belts to work specific techniques, but if it's something someone consistently does, I think it's a bit of a copy. When it comes to running an academy, you've got to understand that at the start you can start, from the bottom. You ain't just going to open a gym and have 200 students. I started with 4 students in a small area with some cheap mats, and for the first 6 months I was still working and teaching at the same time. I was losing money teaching. It was costing me money paying and everything else. The key is not to give up and to stay with it and stay loyal to the dream. It will come if you're good at what you do, you have good people, skills, and you care about your students. the academy will develop and you will get to where you want to do, where you want to be. Okay, so what is the future hold for Checkmat Essex? Still growing the most successful clubs in Essex, doing over 28 classes a week. We've got the real high-level students now, a great coaching team, and I don't think I'm going to plan to go to a bigger academy yet, even though it's pretty much the fall when we're open. I think I'm just going to put on more classes and keep growing the club. And also, I really want to start taking my competition guys abroad and competing all around the world. And that's what the future holds for Checkmat Essex. And for myself, the goals never change. I'm going to win worlds and keep competing on the big sub-only circuit as well. And testing myself. And I've really developed as an older competitor. I'm in my 40s. This year was the year that I really realised that I'm not always going to be as athletic as the younger generation, so I've concentrated more on developing techniques where I put my opponent in positions where they're less athletic, and you're going to see that in the next coming competitions, especially in sub-only. Real big shouts to people that really influenced my jiu-jitsu and helped me. Valmont Neto brought me over to Checkmat, and without him I don't believe my academy would be as successful as it is. He introduced me to Ricardo Vieira. Thank you to Ricardo for putting me over to Checkmat. Leo Vieira for bringing me to California and making me feel welcome. All the guys at DFC, all my students and friends at Checkmat Essex, and also the guys at Pfizer, Marco Kenya, James have always made me feel welcome. As you can see, all the Checkmat clubs network together, and that's one of the strongest teams out there. A massive big thank you to Hazard Shuro Europe. I got my dream sponsor at 40 years old. That's why I should never give up. I got the brand that I love the most sponsoring me at 40 years old. So thanks for believing in me. And also the shows that put me on and let me show off my skills, even though I'm an older competitor and fighting the young guns. Us. This will be the best one in the field. My name's Spencer Hewitt. I'm a secondary degree Checkmat. Fucking shit, bollocks, not the best one.
Good.
Watch out for cult jiu-jitsu, them devil worship motherfuckers. Out of here.